Haru, and I have a background in carpentry and all the building trades for the most part.
A little louder.
Can't hear you over here.
I said my name is Haru, and I have a background in carpentry and all the building trades. Right now, currently, I deal with the lot on 19th and Diamond. I've been sort of like keeping it maintained. You know, Brother Jessel and Brother Mikhail knows me, they know who I am. And it's a lot of things like that I could probably say and talk about. I don't really want to. I'm more of a hands-on type of person. I really don't. I feel as though I can show you better than I can tell you. I mean, I can tell you pretty good, but I'd rather show you. I think we're kind of like in a good. We're kind of in a situation now where, I don't know. I think it's like there's a lot that's going on around us, and in my opinion, it's just important for us to be proactive about it. Whatever we could bring to the table, I guess we need to just like discuss it and talk about it and see how we can come up with some type of resolution.
Is that the one on 19th, right below Diamond, that lot there? Where the bus stops?
Right.
Okay.
It's the north.
Is that
corner.
By the Chinese restaurant?
No.
Nah. It's right on the corner of what's that?
Between Garnett and
Dolphin?
It starts at Garnett. Well, it starts at 19th to Garnett. And it's a series of houses that should be there. And it would be 1900 going up, and even 1900 going north towards York. It used to be manned by a gentleman named Ernie Ross. He used to have,
Well, he said 19th and Diamond.
oh, he said Diamond.
Well, yeah, it's Dolphin.
Oh, you meant,
Oh,
19th and
okay.
Diamond.
Oh, okay.
No, it's on Dolphin.
Yeah, it's Dolphin.
Oh, okay.
It is Dolphin.
I see. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's specifically 19th and Dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually 3 corner lots, and there's a business on the southeast corner.
Yes.
Grocery store deli. But the lot in question that the brother speaking on used to be manned by a gentleman who had the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts there. They actually had livestock and grew vegetables on that land. There's some old trailers, like the young lady said, old boat on the lot. And we're trying to clear it off, you know, and make it, bring it up to par, some progress, something a little more modern. There's an alley that begins, it's all closed off, and you can see where the neighbors literally would take trash out their window from out their back door and throw it because it's swinging on the gates, you know, and you can tell that they fixed the shed kitchen and just either threw the debris into either the lot or just let it crumble and fall and collapse into the alley. Yes, ma'am.
So that's a city-owned lot? Is that what I'm saying?
Some of the lots
No,
are city
this
and
particular
some,
lot.
No, it's a row of lots. It's not one lot.
It's about maybe 4 lots.
It's a row of wood houses, and they're all lots. It's a big lot space, and it's entirely fenced off.
Oh.
I've even me and my brother went down. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 Market Street. They allowed us to lease the land.
Right.
Allowed us to lease the land, which was good. And I told him specifically that we need to be seen doing something on this land since we have permission to be here.
So you're leasing it for the dollar, and at the end of your lease, are they going to allow option or opportunity to start to purchase, or are you going to grant it the land that you ownership because you took care of it? Is any of that going to work out?
My brother.
Yeah.
I guess we can introduce himself if Brother Haru was done. For the moment. You done with your introduction?
For the most part.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to do this.
Introduce yourself and
All
answer
right.
the question for you.
Thank you, Brother Jessel. Yeah, my name is Mikhail. That's what they call me. And what I do is websites, a couple of little websites. And I met Brother Jessel about a year ago at a certain event. And I kept seeing him around as I went through the city. And he's always involved with projects like this, with his church and things that's going on in the neighborhood. Now, what we did is that he took me on a short tour, and I posted some video on my website of him fixing up some of these vacant lots. These are smaller lots in the area. He showed me the big lot at 19th and Dolphin, and I decided that or we decided together that let's see what the city can do to assist us in reclaiming this lot and making things a little better. Turns out the city will give you a lease for $0 for 1 year, and if you do right by with the city and the lease, you can get automatic renewal. If you want to purchase the land, if it's a privately owned lot, you can work something out possibly, but the city will assist you as best they can. Some of the lots are only going for back taxes, so those are opportunities for people who are in a position to make those kind of moves. So what we want to do is bring information to all the people as best we can, and to link up with other parts of the city. We happened to run into, or I happened to make a phone call, and I ended up talking to Brother Leiter here from the Philadelphia Horticultural Society, and he was telling me about a lot of the things that can be done with these lots, and he asked us to kind of pull a few folks together so we can have a little communication, and he can actually explain what the Horticultural Society, which is not exactly a city entity, it's actually a nonprofit that was from like the 1800s or something, but he'll tell you more about that. But he was able to tell us how he can have the lots cleaned and maintained, and they do a lot with all the lots that you see that are cleaned and maintained. The city seems to have given them a mandate to do certain things in certain spaces. So we're going to work with him as best we can. And the information that we acquire, we're going to share with as many people as possible. Because just like I was surprised to see that you can go downtown to the 1234 market. Right. And we treated us very well, and it was no big deal. They did a background check and a couple other little pieces, and they awarded us the lease. But we're still waiting for the paperwork. But, you know, that's enough for now.
Paperwork is very long and complicated.
Yes.
But you can still work without the paperwork.
Right. You can work, you can do,
You're not doing something.
there are a couple of laws, a federal law from like World War II. These lots are basically, if they're not in use, then the general public can make use of them for gardening. And that was from World War II because at the time they needed the food. It's still on the books. Also, the city has similar laws, and you'd be surprised at some of the laws that are in the books. If you can dig that deep, you'll find that you have a lot of rights that you just didn't know about.
You definitely need to check if you're on a block with a lot that you think is owned by the city.
Right.
You need to check it. You need to make sure that it is the city's, and if it's by someone else, to see if that person is actually here in the city.
Right.
Because
And
they can say that you're trespassing.
Right.
Which don't want it to be argued.
right. Our first step was to contact the city councilman Darrell Clark and his office, and they were very helpful. Right now, it seems that the green initiative, this wind and turbine and solar,
Yes.
there's money going into that, and we can either make a move to get a piece of the pie, more like they say, or we can just let it go past us. And I think a lot of the problem in our communities is that a lot of this stuff just goes over our heads, and they don't really push to make sure that you know it, but if
It's on the record.
it's on the
You have to
record,
look.
right, we have to be getting the habit of checking.
And you're right about us not having access, or a lot of people not having access to the web. Because if our community spent more time looking, a lot of what's going on right now has been underway. There's something on the web called the Philadelphia 2035 plan.
Right.
And if you took a look at it, you would see the phases that the city had gone through and all the information that's available. But because we're not connected, I'm assuming a lot of homes have cable, but they're not really wired to get on the internet. They're not. That's not an interest, and we've missed out on a lot of information.
I'll just say this, what I've seen and going around the city, talking to various people, whether they're activists or just people just doing good deeds, that information is there, but there's not a lot of communication between different groups of people. So those of us who are able to access the web need to talk to the folks that don't have that access. And for the youth, it needs to be recognized by the adults, et cetera, et cetera. We need to connect like it was back in the days.
I think good dialogue. We're going to continue to go around with the introduction, and I guess we can go right into the Q&A. Brother Leiter, you want to mention something?
If I may. I thought we were going to give our introductions, but if we can hold the different issues until after I present what I have, everything I've heard, I can speak and offer more information on. Okay. and I think that will expedite our evening. I thought we were leaving in 5 minutes, and so I want to give you the most that I have.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Just please, brothers, give us your name. Tell us what a vacant lot means to you.
My name is Jermaine Harrison. Vacant lot means to me.
Come on, young man. Yeah.
My name is Jermaine Harrison, and to me, a vacant lot is just a lot that's not being used.
I'm Tamara Williams. I was going to basically say what he said.
No, be original.
Y'all done came to me first. Y'all heard me say it first.
Okay.
Doesn't mean an income. It's not an income. That's not fresh food produce.
Yeah, that's
Oh man.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. Next, well, maybe we'll leave Mr. Leiter for last. Young lady.
My name is Gladys Anderson, and I've been a rock captain forever. And I've been maintaining 2 lots for 10 years or more. And now it has become 10 lots. Now I am overwhelmed.
I have no choice.
And the lot that I have been taking care of, they tore 5 more houses down. So they damaged the garden that I had. And it's a total mess now. And I can't handle it.
Are you on Cleveland Street?
Yes.
What street?
Cleveland Street, 2400 block. You talked to me before.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'm like, I'm the lady that jumped at you the other day and said, I'm so glad you're here. The crazy one. And like, it started out with 2 lots. Now it's like 10 lots. We have some of them gated off. I have flowers in some of them.
Right.
But it's just getting too much because I'm getting old.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I have no help.
And I'd say 30% of the houses on your block look like they're getting ready to be condemned. Wouldn't you?
Not all. On one side. Up Wall Street.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
like, I think it's 7 houses that we can take it down. It's all down the back.
Yeah, 7 is a lot. All right, 7. Yes, ma'am. Thanks
Yes,
for
it's
coming.
a lot.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Gladys.
My name is Nathan Keller. AK Lockton Liz.
Your brother over there can't hear you.
My name is Nathan Keller, and the Vacant Lockton Liz is like dead space that can be used for something good. Like, we're not coming out and help each other.
Mr. Leiter, please.
All right. I want to try my best to stay in my seat while I offer this discussion, but the work that I do, I'm passionate about, what I'm able to bring to the community. I love the product that I deliver to the city. I'm encouraged by, and so sometimes it grips me up, and I'll become animated by it. So don't be surprised, but I don't bite. And if I may offer one correction, it's the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society. It is the largest, and we host the largest the largest indoor flower show in the world. We're the 2nd oldest flower show in the world. And that is our fundraiser. Our job is to bring or to impact our neighborhoods with horticulture together, beautifying and making our neighborhoods more healthy. Okay, so it's a partnership with the neighborhoods. I manage the program called Philadelphia Land Care, and it has been adopted by the city, so it is funded by the city, but it is managed by PHS and my team. It is one of many programs that are ambassadored by PHS. I passed out these magazines. If you will bear with me for a moment and look inside your magazine, and you will find in the middle, you will find this little program. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And if you turn into this program to page 10, This magazine is not bought by a subscription, but by a membership. And if you are a member of PHS, you will get this magazine with every quarter. But inside this magazine is this programs and event pamphlet. And on page 10, I want to make us aware of some different workshops. There's a rain check workshop. There's a Delaware County Tree Tenders basic training. There's an Azalea Garden volunteer work day. You'll see PHS Fall Festival. And then the PHS members plant dividend at the Fall Festival. The point I'm making this is that there are programs here that can benefit every neighborhood at every age group. And some, whether you're a member of PHS or not, all right? If we flip over to one page, to page 12, what does it say across the top in the orange banner? Read with me. PHS City Harvest Urban Agriculture Workshop. I think this sounds like what the hubbub is about here. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me, I'll walk out the door. All right? 51%. This is 51%. All right, well, I'll deal with that. And look at these classes. Soil, a user's guide. Hold on. Let me back up to this. If we read just below that banner, I'll read it. These workshops are free and open to the public. So you don't have to be a member for this workshop. And from what I understand, some of you who are currently gardening are actually gardening with somebody that belongs to PHS Garden Tenders. Who here is already gardening in a lot on, okay. You are. You're at, you said Natrona and Ridge, right? So you're at the Green Resource Center there, right?
East Park Revitalization.
Right. Green, okay, in PHS, it's the Green Resource Center, partnered with EPRA, right? And the raised beds there, this all came out of funding that PHS, went out and got the grant for, along with the strength of EPRA, okay? And they're doing beautiful things out there. The neighbors, the residents, have their own garden beds. They're growing their own food alongside their children. And they're delivering food to their own tables, their neighbors, their relatives, all right? So we are already championing your movement here, okay? As a matter of fact, Sally McCabe, my colleague, and she is the Garden Tenders director, wants me to tell you all that the next Garden Tenders program starts October 10th and 24th. Okay? If you look on the outside of this pamphlet, and on the outside of the magazine, you will see the PHS website, phsonline.org, and you can go and you can look. The Garden Tenders has their own web page. Okay? And you can, Garden Tenders, okay, so you know that you are connected with a network, a citywide network of gardeners where you get plant material, seed, maybe soil,
rain barrels.
Okay,
Everything
so what you need to operate a garden, a community garden, you have access to. You don't have to recreate any wheel, all right? There is a network that is ready to support you in your local garden. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
So with that being said, on Ridge Avenue, the lots have been dug up and some other things have been done. I removed almost 150 bags of trash, myself, my husband, and my son. Mm-hmm. And we need help stabilizing to start gardening.
Okay, let me speak to that. I wanted to get this out of the way because I know that's a lot of the strength that everybody came out here.
Can I get that date once more for the
October 10th and October 24th. But if you go to the website, that information is there. It's not in this pamphlet. It's not in this pamphlet because on the magazine or in the pamphlet, the programs here go up to September. The next magazine comes out in 2 weeks, and all that information will be there. But it's also on the website. Okay. Now let's go ahead and skip to my program. Okay, which is Philadelphia Land Care. This addresses directly the blight situation. Okay, and I'm going to call it blight because that's what this program does for the city. Again, I deliver a program for the city of Philadelphia, the administrative side, but I deliver a product to the city of Philadelphia, but I deliver a program to the neighborhood, okay? And the neighborhood is, or the program is, cleaning and stabilizing a blighted condition and ongoing maintenance, okay? So let me start with some questions. If you have a lawn next door to your house, how do you take care of it? You cut the grass, right? If you have a lawnmower, you cut the grass, right? Otherwise, you come on.
Dig it up, put down some
I'm asking something here. Pick up weeds.
Yeah.
And, keep it maintained.
Right. You keep it maintained. My point is, if it's your lawn, you gotta maintain it, right? Situations happen, house collapses, people move away, die, what have you, and the maintenance goes away, right? If you are not able to maintain it and it becomes overgrown, what is your most instinctive response?
I'm calling the city.
Call the city. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Call the city, right?
I've reached out to the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society before we tried to purchase the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was informed that those small, low gates indicate that you guys have something to do with the lots.
Okay.
And
Keep going.
in 3 years' time, this is the year that I removed 100 plus bags of trash myself with income. And I've called, I've talked to people, and nothing was done. And the weeds were on the side of my building, and people were doing acts of things that they shouldn't be doing.
Sure. Outstanding. Okay, so let me speak to these few responses here. Let's start with this one here. So there was a lot with a fence on it, a low wooden fence, right? A low wooden fence on it that just got crazy, overgrown, and nobody, okay, and nobody could respond to you about what the deal was, okay?